cannot process sugar properly. And also aided and abetted because we have a sweet tooth. That's why I don't take 3-in-1. 3-in-1 is all sugar. Okay? Yeah. I have my coffee bitter, black, period. How many are smokers? 25%. That is the profile of the Philippines. From the period 2003 to 2013, 10-year period, obesity in our country went up by 42%. Hypertension went up by 33% in a 10-year period. And Doc, what is this lipidemia?
It's high cholesterol or lipids. That's a cholesterol-based substance.
Cholesterol base. In the last 10 in a 10-year period from 2003 to 2013, it went up in the Philippines by 68%. 68%. We suddenly became a nation with problems. Yeah. Now, we're very, we are very proud that we took our BPO industry in the year 2000 from 5,000 seats, we went up to more than 1 million seats in BPO. We are very proud of that. We even beat India. Alright? But let me share with you what those people eat. Okay? BPO workers regularly eat fried chicken, 78%. Jollibee. Chips, 54% to. Burgers, 53% po. And French fries, 50%. Again, fried chicken, 78. Chips, 54. Burgers, 53. French fries, 50%. 72% of all call center workers and 51% of non-call center workers. Mga 72% of those who work in BPO and 50% of the nation said that this is their most common leisure activity. Happy sila when they eat this. Okay? This is a picture of the Philippines today. I don't know what the picture in Bohol is. I don't believe it's this bad. This is more urban lifestyle. But for me, if we don't change this, if we don't have this program in Bohol of preserving our health, that's why for preserving our health, we have to have a very strong sports program. We will discuss the details later on. I'm not here to discuss all the minute details. Basta in preserving our health, I'm putting a very strong program for our people. And then I'm putting a very strong medical diagnostic program for Bohol. Putting all the barangay health workers to work. You have to diagnostically map Bohol. I want to know the cost. Hindi cost, yun yung magiging resulta. Ang gusto na ako mahitabo is diagnostically map Bohol. I want to know how many are pre-diabetic, diabetic, hypertensive, na cholesterol problem, and mag-dialysis na we have to prepare, we have to know. I want to diagnostically know the situation in Bohol. Because if I know the health of our people, we can better address how to save them early, how to deliver them the medicine, and how to configure the curative aspect. Because as I said, it is a balance. Preserving our health and curing disease is a balance. And that's why in curing the disease naman, that's why we authorize 250 million in modernization of our hospitals. Diba? So those who are in the clinics and in the hospitals in Bohol, we authorize 250 million to put new equipment. But as you know, in hospitals, it is not just putting equipment in. If you don't have the nurses and the doctors, we have to pay them properly. That costs money. Peter in total na is complaining. told me, "You're going to bankrupt us." Sabi, I don't care, I'll bankrupt the province of Bohol as long as it's for the health of the people. It's okay. And then, the third circle is food security. Food security is providing correct food and being sensitive to the food producers, not only to the food consumers, but to make sure that our farmers and fisher folk are earning properly. Not to get rich, but at least to be paid properly. So again, that's a balance. A balance of consumer needs and demands, and a balance of the producers. Our entire program on water is in the food security pillar. Because nobody can talk about agriculture and food without talking about water and land. Alright? So this is the big dream for pag-atiman sa mga makaluluoy, sa mga kabos. That is one angle. Because I want Alexandra and Austin to grow up without disease. I want Alexandra and Austin to have enough food. I want Alexandra and Austin to have clean water. We always talk about water in Bohol, but we never do anything about it. We have a list of how many barangays in the islands have no water. But murag ipasagda na ranato o gidawat na ranato na normal. Ibasol pa nato sila na kasalanan ninyo eh, doon nyo gusto tumira sa isla. Walang tubig talaga doon. We complain that there's no water in continental Bohol, but it is as if that when the dry season comes, we just accept that it is okay. Nothing happens, but it's life. So, that's what I want for my children, and that's what I want for Bohol. Preserving our health, curing our disease, having food security, having clean water. But as I said, I'm also afraid for Austin and Alexander. Because they now have access to information in the internet which can open up their minds to bisan unsa makasud sa ilang pagbununo. And that is, but there is a realization that I cannot always watch over them. Can you watch over your children all the time? Sometimes we do not even know that our own child is using drugs. Asa nagsugod, tilaw-tilaw, barkada-barkada, anak, suway-suway. Before you know it, to feed their habits, we don't even know that they're already selling drugs. They're actually peddling drugs until the police will suddenly just raid. And then we are crying there and we cannot believe, and we are paralyzed to know that our beloved Junjun pala, peddler. These are real life stories. So what is the most important dream I think I have for Austin and Alexandra, my wish for my son and my daughter? I told them, I cannot watch over you all the time. But I hope, nang hinaot ko, na you know yourself enough, that you are secure in your identity, that you are not a product of power, position, wealth, or privilege. That you are your own person, and kahibaw ka mo muna para sa kaugalingon. That is my dream for you, that you know. And the way to that for me, for Bohol, I believe, is through our culture. I believe what makes us very special in Bohol is not our beaches. Because we have so many island provinces with beaches. We have many beautiful mountain ranges and rivers all over the Philippines. We are not the only province with tarsiers. Daghan po sa Mindanao. But we are the only province with the chocolate hills. Yes, that's the one thing we have that nobody has. But there's also something beautiful about our culture. I realize that and I recognize that. And you know why I know that and I value it more? I'm sorry to say this, but I mean this because I was not born in Bohol. I did not grow up with this. I grew up in Manila. I was born in Manila and grew up. And ang kultura diri, Christmas tree. Christmas tree, Santa Claus. But ang kultura sa Bohol is not Christmas tree and Santa Claus. Ang kultura sa Bohol pag Christmas, Belen. And ang kultura sa Bohol, Boss Archie, is kinakantahan ng Belen. Dito, ang Christmas Carol, Jose Marichan. Yeah. Ang Christmas Carol sa Bohol is kakantahan mo ng religious songs ang Belen mo. Ang kada balay, every house is very proud to put up their own family Belen, which is hundreds of years old or decades old, and they invite their neighbors to come and kakantahan yung Belen. That's the reason why I brought back the Daigon and the Belen competitions, which I thought was going to be not successful. But I don't know what you think, but in my eyes, it was successful. It was meant. Did you think it was successful? Yes. Many people were talking about it. They were filming it. They were daming pride, no? When it went to. That's the reason why I wanted to bring in those things. And the next thing we're going to have is the Visita Iglesia. And then I want to rethink and redo the Sandugo. It can't be town after town dancing the ang kuradang. It cannot just be town after town dancing kuradang. There must be something. We must add something to it together with our kuradang, because kuradang is our national dance. I'm bringing back culture in a big way because I don't want the children of Bohol to be lost. Because we cannot watch over them 24 hours. But hopefully, kung ilaha mahinumduman kanunay ang atong kultura, ang atong daygon, ang atong mga kanta, ang atong kasaysayan, ang atong mga sayaw, ang atong musika, ang atong literatura, if they remember, then hopefully, I am praying to God, they will not be lost along the way. This is the reason why I'm putting a big focus on pagpukaw sa kultura. I'm not saying culture because we've always had this culture, di ba? But pagpukaw is to reawaken our culture in us. Because in this internet age, it is so easy to be invaded by Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Lamborghini, kung unsa-unsa. Diba? I want the children to remember, wherever they are, it's going to be Christmas. I remember Bohol. You know, at this time, we're already fixing our Belens. And then pretty soon, we'll have our midnight masses. And then we'll all be singing our Christmas carols. And among si Kuwate. We will putubayan nato ang atong mga suman. My favorite is yung combination ng suman na may tsokolate. Nilambit. I want us to move into culture and food in a big way. I want them to remember the nilubiang awang. I want them to remember our ginamos, and there's so many ways to prepare it. Diba? Because all this taste, smell, colors, I want them to remember that they are Bolanons and they are a part of a very brave and independent culture. Regardless of what will invade their minds, they know this is the right path. I will not be lost sa akong panaw. That's why focus on the 7 arts. Sculpture, performing arts, music, literature, architecture. So pa ba? There's 7. Film, performing arts. So, focus on the 7 arts. We have to focus on exhibitions and shows. You have to spend on mga bangga ba locally to develop the talents. And we have to partner with the different sectors. Because nobody has a monopoly on culture. Everybody has something to contribute. So Tinod ra kaganina nauwaw ko ni Archie tungod kay nangutan na siya nako. Nabay mga tribal sa Bohol o ingon ako naa na Iskaya, are they warlike? Personally, I don't really know. Seem to have not exposed the Iskaya tribe properly. But I told him that we have our own indigenous alphabet that survived. Nautan na si Archie, do they look different? Actually, no. I don't. And I have many. Remember, I'm from the 3rd district. So, daghan ang mga Iskaya sa Duero, Gindulman, Agna. But Sierra Boliones, but they don't look any different from us. Unlike when you go to the mountain province, at pa dito sa, sa Ifugao, Benguet, they're different tribes and they look different. And you can tell how they look. Kaibaw na nimo kung what tribe they are from. We're not like that. They look like us, normal, regular. So that's the reason why I wanted to put this pagpukaw sa kultura. My second reason is, in a nation of 81 beautiful provinces, I want our culture to stand out. And if our culture stand outs, makatabang sa 3rd pillar nato, our economy. We only have one economy. Our economy is tourism. So my second pillar is devoted to my hope as a father that my children will not be lost. My 3rd pillar for Bohol is what I would want for Alexandra and Austin to be as they grow up. Self-sufficient, sustainable, responsible, independent. And that's why I want to address our economy. Because if we continue to expand our economy, we will give more opportunities to our brothers and sisters so they don't have to go abroad and come back in a casket. Di ba? That's why our job is not to take this over, but to provide the environment for the private sector to do this job. Kita, ang responsibilidad na nato is buhaton nato na mahimong attractive ang atong environment for business, but you let the private sector do this for us in partnership with us kung kinahanglan. That's why infrastructure and utilities is very critical. Because in a tourism economy, your ability to travel from one point to another point is tourism. Tourism support projects is culinary expertise, tourism services. All the support activities come into tourism support projects. And then, of course, what is the single most important capital for our business? Ang negosyo na to. The single irreplaceable capital is our environment, ang atong kinaiyahan. That's why that is the 3rd sub-pillar in that pillar. In the weeks to come, because on January 16, 17, 18, I'm meeting the MEB, the department heads. We are now going to strip this more closely. Because each pillar and sub-pillar have commensurate programs and policies. We're going to do that, and this is going to hit you. It's going to cascade to you. But what I'm going to do is, pag nahuman ko sa MEB, I will come back to MEB2 and MEB3, and I will explain this myself to each one of you to make sure nothing is lost in the interpretation. Because along the way, as we discussed, dakong posibilidad na may mga kaugaling ko mga ideas, sir, that will not work, but I have a suggestion for you. Okay. Okay. So the question, we started our session with the question, what is my big dream for Bohol? And I'm telling you is, my dreams for Bohol are not separate, are not different from what I want for my own kids. And this afternoon, you also had an exercise where you were asked what kind of leaders you want. I don't think it is only applicable to me. You're also talking to yourselves because you are leaders, dili ba? And to your department heads and to the second liners. But look at the results. Look at how you in a way voted this. You said what impresses you in leadership is action, dedication, passion, responsibility. These four words came out, but I grouped them together. Action, buhat ang pasultion. Dedication. Of course, when you're dedicated, makita sa action. Dili ba? Oh. When you are dedicated and you are action, you can see the passion, you can see the responsibility. That is the number one quality all of you voted. 13 votes, number one. The second, which came in at 10 votes, was integrity, honesty, trustworthiness. The third was openness, the ability to listen. And then humility. I made it a part of this. Because if you're not willing to listen, you're not humble. Humble ka. Ikaw lang magaling. But if you're humble enough to listen, to know that you don't have the monopoly of ideas, then open ka. So openness, listening, compassion, humility came in at number 9. And then one person said visionary, or one group said visionary. That's number 1. So that's how you voted. Action, dedication, passion, responsibility, 13, number 1. Second, integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, 10, second highest. Third is openness, ability to listen, ability to open, to be compassionate, to be humble, 9. That's the third. And the fourth one is one vote visionary. That's how you voted. Alright. And what I liked was where Archie left you hanging. If this is what you expect of your leaders, can we expect the same of you? That was not answered. I will leave you to answer that portion on your own. And makita naman sa trabaho. We also discussed that a dream is a dream when we keep it with ourselves. But when we share it, it becomes an aspiration. We share it. We now have something that we talk about. If you dare to share it, it becomes an aspiration. But if we get others to volunteer, di ba, to work with us, then we build an advocacy with many. But it only becomes a mission if people are willing to bleed, to die, to sacrifice for it. That was a beautiful example. Why is it that the autonomous region in the north could only be like that? And why did Mindanao get the Bangsamoro basic law? Because in Mindanao, people are willing to die for it. The people in the north were not. Okay. So today we are dreamers, and we shared our dreams. So we know today that our dreams have already gone up to aspiration. But the question is, are we now advocates? We don't know. That we don't know. More than anything else, are we now co-missionaries? We don't know. These are the things that you will have to answer. And in the same way that you expect leaders to be action, dedicated, passion, responsive, open, listen, integrity, trustworthy, where you are, there is only also something that you will have to answer full time. As your governor, I hope that today I have given you a part of me. Because this entire program nato sa Bohol, ang pag-atiman, ang pagpukaw, ang pagpalambok, this is something very personal to me. So now I've shared it with you. So this is now a common aspiration for us. I hope, I pray that we can move it now to an advocacy and later on as a mission for all of us. Because as I said when I started this session, I want to cultivate a conversation with our people and possibly a love affair with our people. You cannot cultivate conversation and love if you don't give it time. You know that because many of you have fallen in love. If not all of you have fallen in love. There's even a possibility that you married somebody who you did not love, but because was just willing to give you time. And then you fell in love. I want to give our people time. I want to be able to love our people. I want to be able to embrace them. And I can't do it alone. If I keep on doing this work alone, I would die. You have to take up the cudgels for me. You have to take the cudgels for me. Because I want to spend more time out there. You know, in the 2nd district, they have a battle cry. Uhaw mi sa gobernador. Nangita mi sa gobernador. Uhaw mi. We are thirsty for our governor. We want to see him. We want to smell him. We want to kiss him. We want to embrace him. We want to eat with him. We want him to come into our homes. I want to do that. That's why I'm hammering out the program of government. I'm doing the work matrix line by line. Because when I leave it to you, I expect you to carry it to its fruition. So that in 2022, we have something to report to the people, which begins with our report to the province in July. That's why, Giselle, maybe we have to meet the MEB earlier. This February, we have to bring them out already. Because I want to challenge the MEB. I want to create a project management staff in the MEB. I already did the program of government. I did the line-by-line work matrices. Now I want to take it to the people. I want to explain it this way to them. I want to go to the towns, to the barangays. I want to explain it. And I want to find out kung sakto ta o sayop ta. I want to know. So that we have time to modify it. Mga akong pangutana ninyong tanan is, can I depend on you to please help me? Because I need your help. I cannot do it alone. I need you. That's why I'm taking time to maybe have one more MEB after this. Because first MEB was 60 people. Let's forget positions, 60 people. Second MEB was about 60 po. And kamo po mga 50? 60. So 180 people. And then, maybe if we do one more, maybe another last 50 or last 60. Oh. So, 240 undergoing this thought process of conversing, building faith and trust, bleeding and sacrificing together, sharing dreams. Hopefully, if we can build a nucleus of 200 provincial employees who can think the same way, move the same way, believe the same way, willing to bleed with each other, hopefully, I'm praying we can do something. I cannot do this alone. And that's why I'm investing time. I want to bring you out of Bohol. I want to show you the world. Why? Because as a father, I told Alexandra and Austin, your education means to open up your minds, and that's why I allow you to travel. And that's why I want our officials to travel. To show you that we are not the best. We are not it. Others are doing it better than us. And I want to inspire you through action by being exposed to the world. We all think that we are the best. We're this and that. Why? Because our politicians keep on telling us that. But I'm not only a politician. I'm also your father. And a father does not lie to his children. And I'm telling you right now, we have to catch up. Because we have 20% poverty, and Bataan has 1.6% poverty. Rico, no? Rico's father is the president?
Chairman and administrator.
The chairman and administrator of the
Freeport area of Bataan.
the Freeport area of Bataan. Bataan has 1.6% poverty. Kuya. Good na. The Philippines has 21% poverty. Bohol has 20% poverty. In numbers, 400,000. 400,000 sa atong mga kaigsuunan nagpabilin sa kalistaran. For all the talk of me being a lawyer, an economist, a technocrat, at the end of the day, look at my programs. It is moved by family. You can be brilliant, you can be a technocrat, but at the end of the day, you are a father. That is the big dream of Bohol. I've shared it with you. Please help me. Let us do each other's part. I took note of what you are looking for in me. I cannot promise you I'll be the best leader, but all I can promise you is maningkamot ko. I will do my best based on what you also expect from me. But please, you have very high expectations of me. Be also forgiving, be also generous. Because you know the problems I'm confronting right now are internal and external. Internal for all of us, I am inheriting an entire bureaucracy which I did not create or make. And I am hobbled and constrained by many of the things I'm finding with the bureaucracy I'm inheriting. And then I'm also confronting many things outside. At the end of the day, I want to be a good technocrat. But unless you win the next election, how can you be a good technocrat? Oh. So, help me be a good governor and help me be a good politician. And hopefully along the way, we can help each other and help our beloved Bohol.
Yes.
Daghang salamat kami. That's 17.
Thank you very much, Governor. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings to a close our interaction today. And my request is, just before we leave the room and for you to prepare for the evening dinner with the Governor, please make sure you shake everybody's hand and tell each other, let's go for the mission. Okay? Let's go. Okay. Make sure you shake everybody's hand. Let's go for the mission. Let's go for the mission. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go for the mission.